Good morning, everybody. Morning again. Welcome to lesson 4. Lesson 4 of emerging cybercrime trends. Lesson 4. So in lesson 4, we are going to tackle different threat and threat actors, two main types of cybercrimes, classification of cybercrimes, most common cybercrimes, and cybercrime examples. This is a little bit a long topic, and I'll try to move with speed because it is quite a lengthy topic. Classification of cybercrime. Cybercrimes are classified into two categories. One is insider attack, and two are external attacks. Once we have said that, you already can figure out what could be an internal attack and what could be an external attack in the context of your organization or a particular facility or a particular entity or a particular enterprise or a particular organization. You already start to know that an insider attack is an attack that basically there are people who are working for the organization who are involved in this. And an external attack, you already start to know that these are from the external sources. The cyber criminal can be internal or external to the organization facing the attack. Based on this fact, cybercrime can be categorized into two types: insider attack and external attack. Insider attack. An insider attack to the network or the computer system by some person with authorized system access is known as insider attack. A person who has access to the system and the person who is authorized, it is called an insider attack. It is generally performed by dissatisfied or unhappy insider employees or contractors. Remember, contractors. The motive of the insider attack could be revenge or greed. It is comparatively easy for an insider to perform a cyber attack as he is well aware of the policies, processes, IT architecture, and weaknesses of the security system. Moreover, the attacker has access to the network. Therefore, it is comparatively easy for insider attack to steal sensitive information, crash the network, etc. These things are self-explanatory. That is why I am moving very fast. At this level of your stage, you already have got a picture of what we are talking about. In most of the cases, the reason for insider attack is when an employee is fired or assigned new roles in an organization, and the role is not reflected in the IT policy. So remember IT policies. This opens a vulnerability window for the attacker. The insider attack could be prevented by planning and installing an internal intrusion detection system, IDS, in the organization. So this is the network-based IEDs. Network-based IEDs, we are talking about an internal intrusion detection system, a system that can detect if somebody is trying to access the entire IT system and steal information or compromise the system. External attack. Let's look at external attack. When the attacker is either hired by an insider or an external entity to the organization, it is known as an external attack. The organization which is a victim of cyber attack not only faces financial loss, but also the loss of reputation. Remember, reputation. It is a reputation. In fact, it is more costly than even financial loss. Reputation is more costly as compared to the financial loss. The organization which is a victim of this cyber attack not only faces financial loss, but also the loss of reputation, since the attacker is external to the organization. So these attackers usually scan and gather information. An experienced network security administrator keeps regular eye on the log generated by the firewalls, as external attacks can be traced out by carefully analyzing these firewall logs. So one of the investigation tools or one of the investigation methods or processes is to carry out a firewall analysis. So can you please check on your own what are these firewalls and how can we conduct a firewall analysis? Also, intrusion detection systems are installed to keep away external attacks. Other cyber attacks classification. The cyber attacks can also be classified as structured attacks and unstructured attacks based on the level of maturity of the attacker. Some of the authors have classified these attacks as a form of external attacks, but there is precedence of the cases when a structured attack was performed by an internal employee. This happens in the case when the competitor company wants the future strategy of an organization on certain points. The attacker may strategically gain access to the company as an employee and access required information. Just remember, there is an insider, external, and then other classifications, structure attacks and unstructured attacks. Let's look at structured attacks and unstructured attacks a little bit more. Structure attack. These type of attacks are performed by highly skilled, experienced people, and the motives of these attacks are clear in their mind. They have access to sophisticated tools and technologies to gain access to other networks without being noticed by their intrusion detection systems. Moreover, these attackers have the necessary expertise to develop or modify the existing tools to satisfy their purpose. These type of attacks are usually performed by professional criminals, by a country on another rival country, politicians to damage the image of their rival person or the country, terrorists, and also other companies conducting structured attacks against another company to gather information, like to steal sensitive operational information, to steal sensitive policy information, etc. Unstructured attacks. So, structured attacks experienced. Unstructured attacks. These attacks are generally performed by amateurs who don't have any predefined motives to perform the cyber attack. Usually, these amateurs try to test a tool readily available over the internet on the network of a random company. Cyber crimes have turned out to be a low investment, low risk business with huge returns. Low investment, low risk business with huge returns. So we as cyber criminalists, we have to be to move with time and learn more about these attacks and how they are carried out and how we can protect our organizations or how even we can protect ourselves, because cyber criminals also target even our mobile phones, target our bank accounts. They steal information. You may go to your bank account tomorrow and discover that you have no saving, that your little saving that you have been keeping there is gone because you gave out information on social media that was used against you. So be very careful with the information you share about yourself and your sensitive matters. There are some cyber criminals who offer on-demand and service. The person, organization, or a country may contact these cyber criminals for hacking an organization to gain access to some sensitive data, or create massive denial of service attack on their competitors. Based on the demand of the customer, the hacker write malware, virus, etc. to suit their requirements. An organization affected by a cyber attack not only faces financial loss, but its reputation is also adversely affected, and the competitor organization will definitely benefit by it. So Keep in mind there is a financial loss, but of huge impact to any organization is its reputation. Malware and its types. Let us look at malware. Malware stands for malicious software. Malware stands for malicious software. And it is designed to gain access or installed into the computer without the consent of the owner. Malware is installed or it is made to gain access to your system without your knowledge. They perform unwanted tasks in the host computer for the benefit of a third party. There is a full range of malwares which can seriously degrade the performance of the host machine. There is a full range of malwares which are simply written to distract, annoy the user, to the complex ones which captures the sensitive data from the host machine and send it to remote servers. You can hear malware. It is a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting topic. Remember, malware is malicious software. Types of malware. There are various types of malware present in the internet. Some of the popular ones are adware. It is a special type of malware which is used for forced advertising. They either redirect the page to some advertising page or pop up an additional page which promotes some product or event. These adware are financially supported by the organizations whose products are advertised. So when you see pop-ups of advertisements could be malwares that have infected your system. Spyware. It is a special type of which is installed in the target computer with or without the knowledge of the user or without the user permission and is designed to steal sensitive information from the target machine. Spyware steal sensitive information. Mostly, it gathers the browsing habits of the user and then sends it to the remote server without the knowledge of the owner of the computer. Most of the time, they are downloaded into the host computer while downloading freeware, i.e. free application programs from the internet. Spyware may be of various types. It can keep track of the cookies of the host computer. It can act as a keylogger in sniffing the sensitive pins and sensitive passwords and sensitive information, etc. Browser hijacking software. There is some malicious software which are downloaded along with free software offered over the internet and installed in the host computer without the knowledge of the user. This software modifies the browser settings and redirects links to other unwanted sites. Virus. A virus is a malicious code written to damage, harm the host computer by deleting or appending a file, occupy memory space of the computer by replicating the copy of the code, slow down the performance of the computer, format the host machines, etc. It can be spread via email attachment, pen drives, digital images, greeting, audio or video clips, etc. A virus is a malicious code written to damage, harm the host computer. A virus may be present in a computer, but it cannot activate itself without human intervention. You remember that. Until and unless the executable file is executed, a virus cannot be activated in the host machine. So it can be in the system, but unless it is activated by human intervention, it will just stay there. So a human person is behind activation of the virus. You can see how a virus looks. It looks scary, my friend. It doesn't look good because it is here to do a lot of damage to your system. Worms. They are a class of viruses which can replicate themselves. Worms. They are different from the virus by the fact that they do not require human intervention to travel over the network and spread from the infected machine to the whole network. Worms can spread either through network using the loopholes of the operating system or via email. The replication and spreading of worm over the network consumes the network resources like space and bandwidth and force the network to choke. So virus need human intervention to be activated. Worms, they can replicate themselves. They do not need human intervention. Trojan horse. You have all heard about Trojan horse. So what is a Trojan horse? Trojan horse is a malicious code that is installed in the host machine by pretending to be the useful software. The user clicks on the link or downloaded the file which pretends to be a useful file or software from legitimate source. It not only damages the host computer by manipulating the data, but also creates a backdoor in the host computer so that it could be controlled by a remote computer. So somebody uses a Trojan to access your system, to install it into your machine, and they can take control of your computer and they can manipulate the information they want remotely without your knowledge that something wrong is happening, that somebody is accessing my computer and stealing information and other things. Trojans can become a part of a botnet, a robot network, a network of computers which are infected by malicious code and controlled by central controllers. The computers of this network, which are infected by malicious code, are known as zombies. Trojans neither infect the other computers in the network, nor do they replicate. They don't infect other computers in the network, and they do not replicate like worms. Okay? Trojan. Spyware. Scareware. Excuse my English. Scareware. Internet has changed how we talk, shop, play, etc. It has even changed the way how the criminal target the people for ransom. While surfing the internet, suddenly a pop-up alert appears in the screen, which warns the presence of dangerous virus, spyware, etc. in the user's computer. As a remedial measure, the message suggests the used download the full paid version of the software. As a remedial measure, the message suggests the user to download the full paid version of the software. As the user proceeds to download, a malicious code known as spyware is downloaded into the host computer. It holds the host computer hostage until the ransom is paid. The malicious code can either be uninstalled. The malicious code can neither be uninstalled, nor can the computer be used until the ransom is paid. It's like they hijack your system. And they lock it. And until you pay the payment they want, which is called ransom, you cannot use the computer and you cannot uninstall the spyware. Kinds of cybercrime. Go back, do a little more research on types of malware. Write small notes on your own for your own benefit. Kinds of cybercrime. Various types of cybercrimes are cyber stalking. That is number one. Cyber stalking. It is an act of stalking, harassing, or threatening someone using internet or computer as a medium. This is often done to defame a person and use email, social network, instant messenger, web posting, etc. as using internet as a medium as it offers secrecy or anonymity. The behavior includes false accusations, threats, sexual exploitation to minors, monitoring, etc. So cyber stalking. You also know about actual life stalking, physical stalking. So this is cyber stalking. And then two, we have child pornography, which is a serious offense internationally. It is an act of possessing images or video of a minor under 18 engaged in sexual conduct. It's a very bad habit, this one. Forgery and counterfeiting. It is use of computer for forgery and counterfeiting is a document. It is a use of computer for forgery and counterfeiting. With advancement in the hardware and software, it is possible to produce counterfeit which matches the original document to such an extent that it is not possible to judge the authenticity of the document without expert judgment. You have heard of people who have got title deeds that are genuine, but when you go to the Ministry of Lands to check this title deeds, they are not existent. But if you look at it, even if it is passed through document examiners or through certain machines, the document comes out as genuine. But when you go to try to find out exactly how this happened, you cannot discover this. That is forgery and counterfeiting. And then also, we have software piracy and crime related to IPRS. Software piracy is an illegal reproduction and distribution for personal use or business. It comes under crime related to IPR infringement. Some of the other crimes under IPR infringement are download of songs, downloading movies, etc. Illegal reproduction. Cybercrime, cyberterrorism. It is defined as the use of computer resources to intimidate or coerce governments, the civilian population, or any segment thereof in furtherance of political or social objective. So you can see another type of cybercrime is called cyberterrorism, which is also a very sensitive topic that we also need to study. Phishing. It is a process of acquiring personal and sensitive information of an individual via email by disguising as a trustworthy entity in electronic communication. The purpose of phishing is identity theft, and the personal information like username, password, and credit card number, etc., may be used to steal money from user account. If a telephone is used as a medium for identity theft, it is known as phishing, voice phishing. Another form of phishing is smishing, in which SMSing is used to lure customers. So phishing. And then computer vandalism. It is an act of physical destroying computer resources using physical force or malicious code. And then we have computer hacking. We shall look at hacking a lot in this course as we continue. It is a practice of modifying computer hardware and software to accomplish a goal outside the creator's original purpose. The purpose of hacking a computer may vary from simply demonstration of the technical ability to stealing, modifying, or destroying information for social, economic, or political reasons. Now, the corporate world are hiring hackers, a person who is engaged in hacking computers to intentionally hack computers of organization to find and fix security vulnerabilities. We shall talk about ethical hackers. Those are what we call white hat hackers. They hack the system to try and look for vulnerabilities and solve them so that the bad guys cannot access the system. The black hat hackers can access the system. The hackers may be classified as 1. White hat. White hat hackers are the persons who hack the system to find the security vulnerabilities of a system and notify to the organization so that a preventive action can be taken to protect the system from outside hackers. Even in the physical security world, sometimes we carry out a security vulnerability analysis to find out the weaknesses in the overall physical security program and to come up with defensive measures before people can access. Even in CCTV surveillance, there is a time we conduct assessments to find out if the system is effective and to see whether there are vulnerabilities in the system that can be exploited by the enemy. White hat hackers may be paid employee of an organization who is employed to find the security loopholes, or maybe a freelancer who just wants to prove his mantle in this field. They are popularly known as ethical hackers. Please remember the term ethical hackers. White hat hackers are also called ethical hackers. They hack with the authority of the owner of the system. The reason is to check for vulnerabilities in the overall systems and seal the loopholes before other attackers can take advantage. So they are the good guys. Grey hat. Grey hat hackers find out the security vulnerabilities and report to the site administrators and offer the fix of the security bug from a consultancy fee. So you see, grey hat hackers are external hackers. They hack the security vulnerabilities and report to the administrator and offer to fix the security bug from a consultancy fee. These are like consultants. And then there's a blue hat hacker. A blue hat hacker is someone outside company computer security consulting firms who is used to bug test a system prior to its launch, looking for exploits though they can be closed. So there is also blue hat. So there is white hat, gray hat, blue hat, and then there is a black hat. And then there is a creating and distributing viruses over the internet. The spreading of a virus can cause business and financial loss to an organization. The loss includes the loss of repairing the system, cost associated with the loss of business during downtime, and cost of loss of opportunity. The organization can sue the hacker if found for the sum of money than or equivalent to the loss borne by the organization. Spamming. Sending of unsolicited and commercial bulk messages over the internet is known as spamming. An email can be classified as spam if it meets the following criteria. Mass mailing. The email is not targeted to one person but to many people. Anonymity. The real identity of the person is not known. Unsolicited. The email is neither expected nor requested for by the recipient. These spams not only irritate the recipients and overload the network, but also waste the time and occupy the valuable memory of the system. Spamming. So we have another category is a cross-site scripting 24. It is an activity which involves injecting malicious client-side script into a trusted website. As soon as the browser executes the malicious script gets access to the cookies and other sensitive information and sent to remote servers. Now, this information can be used to gain financial benefit or physical access to a system for personal interest. Online auction fraud. These are still some types of cybercrimes. There are many genuine websites who offer online auction over internet. Taking the advantage of the reputation of these websites, some of the cyber criminals lure the customers to online auction fraud schemes, which often lead to either overpayment of the product or item is never delivered once the payment is made. So online auction fraud is also another category of cybercrime. And then there is cyber squatting. It is an act of reserving the domain names of someone else's trademark with the intent to send it afterwards to the organization who is the owner of the trademark at a higher price. And then there is also logic bombs. These are malicious codes inserted into the legitimate software. The malicious action is triggered by specific condition. If the conditions holds true in future, the malicious actions begins, and based on the action defined in the malicious code, they either destroy the information stored in the system or make systems unusable. So logic bombs are malicious codes inserted into legitimate software. And then we also have web hacking. The hacker gain access to a website of an organization and either blocks it or modify it to serve political, economic, or social interests. The recent examples of web hacking are some of the websites of educational institutes were hacked by Pakistan hackers, and an animation which contains Pakistani flags were flashed in the homepage of these websites. Another example is Indian hackers who hacked the website of Pakistani Railways and flashed Indian flag in the homepage for several hours on Independence Day of India in 2014. These are some examples of web hacking. We also have internet time theft. Hacking the username and password of ICP of an individual and surfing the internet at his cost is internet time theft. Then there's denial of attack services. It is a cyber attack in which the network is choked and often collapsed by flooding it with useless traffic and thus preventing the legitimate network traffic. Denial of attack services. And then there is a Salami attack 25. I hope you have heard about Salami attack. It is an attack which proceeds with small increments and final add up to lead to a major attack. The increments are so small that they remain unnoticed. An example of Salami attack is gaining access to online banking of an individual and withdrawing amounts in such a small amount that it remains unnoticed by the owner. Often, there is default trigger set in the banking website, and transactions below the set amounts of withdrawal are not reported to the owner of the account. Piecemeal. Then eventually it becomes a very big loss. Sometimes we don't even monitor our transactions. We don't know how many balances we have in the bank account. We rarely don't know once money is deposited, we withdraw with the ATM. We never follow up. So there are those who use Salami attacks to steal little by piecemeal from our accounts without our knowledge until it becomes a very huge loss. And then there is data diddling. It is a practice of changing the data before its entry into the computer system. Often, the original data is retained after the execution of data is done. For example, DA or the basic salary of the person is changed in the payroll data of an individual for pay calculation. Once the salary is calculated and transferred to his account, the total salary is replaced by his actual salary in the report. We need to do more research on that. And then there is an email spooling. It is a process of changing the header information of an email so that the original source is not identified and it appears to an individual at the receiving end that the email has been originated from another person other than the original source. That is what we call email spoofing.